Welcome to today's episode of discussing environmental in a raw manner in Equitas. So today, I'm with a special environmentalist today, and we are going to discuss the effect of education in environment with respect to sustainability. I am with a renowned environmentalist by the name Dr. Onyeka Mbalisi. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
And how are you doing today?
I'm fine. I'm glad to be here to talk about the issues we talk in the classroom, outside the classroom, so that the people outside the classroom will also hear the kind of things we do and the kind of things that happen on the environment, which they contribute to, which also in turn affect them. Thank you very much.
Okay, so on the normal, I ask people about their well-being. I ask people about how they left their direct environment today. So tell me, how is your direct environment before you came to this spot today?
Well, it was okay. It's to me, it's a routine check. Clean the environment, the surroundings. Make sure that no plumbing taps is leaking, because it's, in our private life, it's like a routine. Now people don't care about it. It's leaking, provided it's not leaking inside their houses. Sometimes even the tap head drop, they abandon it without changing it, and it's a very bad habit because it leads to loss of water, and those that are coming from the drainage system keeps the environment fitty and smelling. So my surrounding is always intact, and it's always environmentally healthy. Thank you.
Okay, so can you tell me your story? How did you come into becoming an environmentalist? Just take your time and tell us.
Well, it's an interest. I did chemistry was my option when I was an undergraduate, and I did a course on environmental chemistry, and I got interested in environmental matters. Then I decided that I'm going to further my studies in any aspect of any aspect that has to do with the environment. So that was why I went to find myself in environmental education, still advancing the course of protecting the environment and making sure that the environmental systems are kept healthy. And let me leave it here for now.
Okay, so one more thing. What is the notion with the people around? Because we are talking about education. So the notion of the people around you when they see that, okay, you are an environmentalist, or even while you are making your way to become an environmentalist, how were they seeing you as a person?
You know that we read only 3 courses in Nigeria. Let me use our local parlance: doctor, engineer, and lawyer, or accountancy. These are the only 4 courses we read. So if you have admission in the university outside of these 4, the next question is, what are you going to do when you graduate? So that's all. The notion is general. But I thank God today I'm here talking with Ecotax, doing what I think I'm interested in doing. So I'm okay, I'm satisfied. Thank you.
What is the passion behind this?
Environmental protection. And the public health issues that are surrounding our the health of the environment. Because the health of the environment determines so much the health of our well-being. So that's why I even thank God that I'm also into education, because people are ignorant of all these things. So we'll create the awareness so that they know that the way they keep the environment determines how healthy they are.
Okay, so let's hit the nail. So tell me, what are the importance of environmental education in sustainability?
Well, number one is that you have to create awareness of the environmental issues around us and how those issues come about. Today, people may feel so much hotness of the weather, but they don't know what it is. Let me tell you this. My own mother, an illiterate, has attributed it to the anger of the gods. Climate change. Likewise, other illiterate people in the society will have attributed it to the anger of gods. And you don't blame them because things are no longer what they used to be. They are local people, they have their local calendars, things that happen that tells them what to do at any given point in time. And those things are no longer there, so they miscalculate. They know when the first rain comes, but now I don't think we'll still have first rain that gets them ready to prepare for farming. And there's a harmattan that normally comes in November that prepares the farmland for harvesting. Those things for over 10, 15 years don't occur again. So the gods are angry. But I don't know that this shift in rainfall pattern, climate systems have been destroyed, climate has changed as a result of global warming. They don't understand all these grammars, but all they know is that the climate, all they know is that the gods are angry. Where are the birds? There are birds that are now farming season in the tribe that I came from. They are no longer there. You can't hear their voices anymore. There are birds that are now dry season, getting them ready for harvest. They are no longer there. So where have they gone to? The gods are angry. So that is it. But it's climate change. They need to be educated and now be trained on how to replan their lives. They need to understand these issues. These issues need to be explained to them. Then they need to be equipped on how to repattern their lives and what they're doing. Even in the township here, you roof your house, 2-3 years, the roofs are gone. That is expensive, so you keep changing your roofs, keep roofing. But some people also attribute it to let me use a local parlance, to village people who don't want you to progress in life. And what is it? Corrosion of metal. Due to what? Acid rain. Arising from what? Gas flaring. All your activities in the Niger Delta. Except it's a highly galvanized, but even this one has started getting lost. Huh? And it's because of the action of the acid dropping as rain, arising from the gases that are injected into the air through gas flaring. People need to be aware of all these things. And people need to understand all these things. And they need to take action. You need to tell them the kind of action they need to take to see that these things are stopped, so that when you roof your house, it will last for a long time before you think of changing one sheet.
So I'll ask you this question. We're dealing with two classes of people now, the literate and the illiterate.
Yes.
What mode of, will I say, the transmission of education to these people that will make them convinced that they need to do something from their own point of view?
Yes. Well, one mode at different time, because education is education. You can get to them through advocacy. You have to like people that believe that is the anger of the gods. That's their belief. So you have to change that belief system, and it's not going to be easy. So through advocacy, we are not sending them back to the classroom anymore. You have to reach out to them in their houses. Maybe not one-on-one anywhere. There have to be mobilization for them to come together at a point. Then you now explain to them what actually is happening and how to be safe from it. Now, to the educated, the truth is that it's not everybody that actually understands what is happening, even to the literate. It's not every literate that understands the process of what is actually happening. Though we know too that there are literates that also, whose activities are affecting the environment and who are also benefiting from it. So you need to also, through advocacy, reach out to them and try to educate them that, look, they may think that they are benefiting today, but what happens to their children when they are gone? They would have destroyed the environment upon which the life and well-being of their children depend. So they are destroying it for them. Like when you talk about in the concept of sustainability, we say that we do not own the earth. We borrowed it from our future generations. We unleash, and therefore we don't have any powers or authority to destroy it. We only permitted to leave it better than we met it. And you know the practice in the Niger Delta today, illegal bunkering and refining, and the guys are making money, but they are destroying the future of their children. So what happens to that? They need to be brought out. They need to be educated that the gain they are making is short term, but there is a long term consequences of what they are doing on both on the environment and humans, because two of them are interconnected. Our human well-being is strongly linked to the health of the environment. Therefore, for us to enjoy a good well-being, the environment must be healthy. We have to maintain and protect the quality of the environment. And the land that is being polluted as a result of their style of practice, people farm on those lands. People's livelihoods depends on those lands. So what happens to them? Those will remain poor forever because they don't have any other alternative source of livelihood. The creeks are polluted. The seafood that we got from the rivers are no longer there. The shrimps, well, I'm not from River, so I may not remember all of them. The shrimps, the crayfish, the oysters, the crabs, they're no longer there in large quantity as they used to be. And I learned in the course of my interaction with most of them from there, and they now move further close to the high sea, which is more dangerous, to be able to get some fishes they may need to sustain their lives. But initially, it's what they just go to a nearby river, fish overnight, come the flowing day, and sell and make their money. So you see, we need to educate both all of them. If you don't understand, well, environmentally wise, they're illiterate. But maybe in the ABCD of a thing, some are literate, some are not literate. But in balancing issues from an environmental point of view, they're illiterate. Because they only see things from their own perspective, and especially economically wise.
Yeah.
And we are talking about sustainability. Sustainability has three angles, three dimensions: the economic wise, social wise, and environmental aspect. So whatever resource of the environment you take to boost your economic well-being, you must do it. So whatever you do to raise your economy for the purpose of enhancing and improving human well-being must be done within the carrying capacity of the environment. They have to be mindful of the health of the environmental system so that you don't destroy it. So there must be a balance. So that is what the principle of the main principle that sustainable development is advocating, because you can't talk without talking about the exploitation and exploration of environmental resources for economic growth. And we seek economic growth for the improvement of human well-being. Let me put it in the ordinary way. We need money and we sell fish to buy clothes and we have to eat food, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So, but in the process of taking the fish from the river, we have to be conscious of the type and the amount of fish or fishes will take, so that we don't deplete the population of the fishes in the river. If we do that, our children will have fish to fish again, to take care of themselves. Then while we explore oil, we have to be conscious of not polluting the river, so that our children will see river where they will go and take the fish to sell, to make their money, to take care of their lives. So it's interwoven. So, and that is where the educational aspect comes, to educate on how to balance this equation, how to solve this puzzle, because it's a puzzle.
Okay, let's come from the angle of the classrooms, the education, the importance of going to the schools and tell them you need to be agents of change when it comes about the environment. Because if you go out on the street, you find out that, yes, the persons that even have gone through primary, secondary, and maybe tertiary institutions might not even understand the importance of protecting your environment. Now, how have you, with your experience, passed this knowledge to students in the higher institution? And secondly, this is a two question. Secondly, how can the stakeholders, when it comes to the education ecosystem, how will they be able to make sure that down to the primary schools, that these young lads start knowing the importance of protecting their environment?
Yes, if you check every book, you see that in social studies, in biology, in geography, even some aspect of physics and chemistry, they have elements of environmental content. But the issue is delivery. Even English. In most cases, check English textbooks, the readers, they call it or whatever. You see that most of them have environmental themes they treat. Some things like comprehension and the rest of them. What we are saying is this: delivery is where the problem lies, because the target of the English teacher is to develop the skill of answering comprehension questions, the skill of answering summary questions. That's all. But not the targeted intention of creating awareness on climate change or global warming or pollution or improper waste management as captured, as treated in the passage. That's the problem. Likewise in the social studies, they teach about the environment, but because they are not trained. So what we are saying is that people should be trained as environmental teachers, educators, that when they go in to teach, they bear it in mind that they are teaching environmental education, not going to teach English language. Even the mathematics is infused in what they call commercial maths, where you can imagine the quantity of waste people generate in a day, what is the quantity they're going to generate in a month or in a year. There's an aspect of mathematics that are developing, but actually that content was inserted for the purpose of creating awareness on waste generation and how to minimize waste generation because of the impact of waste on the environment. So I also learned that there's also, they ask them to, some schools have environmental clubs, some people also go to talk to them once in a while, but such movement will not make much impact. Impact will be made when environmental teams are consciously taught to these students. And that's why they don't even bear it in mind that they are studying environmental education. So their focus will not be there.
So sorry, in a system where we already know, especially let's come down to Nigeria, our own space, in a system where you know that teachers don't even have a lot of training, there is no time, there is no facility for teachers to be trained on the job. Are you not saying that it will be possible to squeeze this particular element of environment to impact on these teachers that at the end of the day they will share it across? How possible can this be?
Why can't it be possible where things are done normally? We should know that they should be trained if the government is conscious of that. You train the teachers to impart this knowledge in them, and they will do that. Once there's a new curriculum, you train them on the new curriculum. Train them the reason for that. But you just have to develop a new curriculum, develop new books, infuse the content of the new curriculum there, bring to the school, and the teacher will handle it the way he or she feels is better for him to handle. Everybody has an area of specialty, so you focus on that area and teach it. So if you are teaching mathematics and you see something like if one person generates 1 ton of weight in a day, how many ton of weight will 100 persons generate weight in 1 month? The teacher will work it out mathematically. But has it been able to create awareness of the impact of waste on the environment of human well-being, even on the teacher and the students? Because the teacher will have to be aware of what the rationale behind that mathematics before he'll be able to impact it on the students. Well, it's not that way. So he has done his mathematics. If an English teacher misses an English passage, he will try to find out what am I expected to teach here, which skill, answering comprehension questions, or this summary. He would just try to develop the skills in the students so that they're able to pass the certain exams in case such questions will come up. And that's the only target, but not creating that awareness in them that, look, this is what is happening to our environment. And this thing that's happening is also affecting us.
Last shots. We understand that the northern part of the country has the highest level of out-of-school children. And we even saw what happened just some weeks back in Jigawa, where more than 200 persons died due to flooding. Just within 48 hours, the number was more than 200 persons out there. So in such climes, in such a challenging climes, how best do you think that education can be spread around that zone so that the younger ones, even the older ones, should know the importance of protecting their environment?
We have many channels. We have environmental NGOs that can move into wherever people are. We can pass through CBOs, community-based organizations, to educate them. You can pass through religious bodies to educate them. The issue of environmental education or environmental issues should be taken as an emergency, where you talk about it in the churches, in village and community meetings, in the mosque, wherever people gather. You educate them. There is no straight line jacket wear of doing it. Wherever people gather, educate them. Gather people, create an avenue of talking to people. And it is done. That is it. It's a matter of influencing government policies to also make provisions for that. Or NGOs can also do that, reach out to the elders in the communities or through these community-based organizations, through women groups, through men groups, through youth groups. They know how they can mobilize themselves. You can talk to them and they will hear. That's it.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Okay, to you watching out there, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Talking the Environment in a Raw Manner here on Equitas. So if you like what we have taught, please click on that subscribe button, click on that share button, and let's spread the word, because at the end of the day, this is our world, this is our environment, and we need to protect it. Thanks for watching.